Okay, you guys, welcome back to another Saturday door knocking session with your boy Brandon. This is the Freedom Financial Edge, where I give you the edge to achieve your financial freedom, whatever that looks like for you. So I did make an amazing video, information packed, about why fourplexes are the best move for newbie beginners who are just trying to get into the game. Except I messed up the editing, so it's like a zoom in of just my face. And I don't know how to fix it. So I'm going to do kind of like a second version of that. Just to make it a little bit more viewer friendly, as much as people love seeing close-ups of my face. So here's why a fourplex is the best move for a newbie beginner investor. So here's the deal, you guys. I didn't start with a fourplex when I first started either, so you can call me out. I didn't understand the power of small multifamily when I first got started, but I'm trying to pass that knowledge on to you guys. So here's the deal. Will you pay more for a triplex or a fourplex? Yes, it will be a bigger loan and it'll cost you more money. That is correct. Will you be forced to be a landlord? Yes, that is correct. Will it change your financial destiny forever in the most positive way imaginable? Yes, it will. So here's the deal. Obviously, there's some drawbacks, right? Fourplexes, more expensive. You have 4 hot water heaters. You have 4 potential tenants. You have, you will obviously be living in one of them because I'm going to tell you to own or occupy. But, so you have 3 tenants. But, you have 4 kitchens. You have 4 hot water heaters, 4 heating systems potentially. You got 1 roof. That's a big win. You have more windows than you will on a traditional house. True. It'll be bigger than a traditional house. True. Right? So square footage. You have more siding, more flooring, all that. But with that, you have at the very least 3, count them, 3 other sources of revenue. So you will have other people paying you to live in your fourplex. And why is this amazing? Well, let me tell you, if you can't already figure it out, you're going to have your income plus 3 others to help you qualify to even buy the property. So that's a huge win right there, right? Like if you, and I actually just had this conversation yesterday with somebody. Actually, this was a complete stranger. We were just sitting down and they overheard me talking real estate stuff, right? A deal that I'm working on. And they just introduced themselves and, just started chatting with me. And they said, oh yeah, it sounds like you're doing some real estate stuff. Are you an agent? And I was like, no, I'm more of an investor. And so we were just chatting with them and I told them like, hey, they're renting at the time. And, I told them the woes of being a renter versus being a landlord. There's hardship on both sides. But I told them it sounded like they wanted to buy a house. And I told them, I said, right now is probably one of the harder times to buy a house. Interest rates are high, prices are high, no one's giving an inch. And they're really struggling to afford it. And I said, hey, I don't blame you guys. I don't think I could afford a house right now. And, that's what I said. And I was like, not that I'm like richer than you guys or anything, but I'm just saying like, I couldn't afford it either. It's really expensive, So here's the deal. I told them, I said, hey, you guys, I don't know how you feel about, being landlords, but if you want to change your financial destiny, and, be able to retire someday with assets, and you're looking to get into a place of your own, I'd maybe look into a duplex, triplex, fourplex. And then I told them, I said, ultimately I would suggest a fourplex, but it was him, his wife, and they had 2 young children. So I said that might be a little tight for a 4-unit building, depending on what you find. There is definitely 4-unit buildings where each unit is 3 beds, 2 baths. So it's its own house, but you get 4 of them. Definitely possible. The likelihood is a lot smaller to find that particular type of fourplex. So I said, you guys might actually be better off looking at duplexes. And I'm not saying that that's the best investment you could make, but it's more likely to find the space that you guys need. And I told them, I said, whatever your mortgage payment is, it'll be cut in half. You'll technically, you'll be having another person right next door paying your guys' mortgage, helping you pay for it. And if you buy it right, it should be paying at least half of the mortgage. And, if not, raise the rents up until that point, right? That's the amazing part of a duplex, is that at the very least, they should be paying half your mortgage. And I told them, I said, hey, it's going to be a bigger mortgage, but not much. I mean, houses are $500,000 around here, maybe more. Duplexes are maybe $600-ish thousand. So, I mean, the mortgage payment isn't that much bigger on a duplex than it is a single family. And the benefit is you're going to have somebody helping you pay for it, which is massive. So, anyways, that was just a real life conversation I just had with somebody yesterday who had no real estate knowledge at all. Anyways, I love giving value to just random people that are interested any way I can. I try to help people. So here's the next point. Not only do fourplexes, in my opinion, I believe, and talk to your lender, it'd be easier for you to qualify, because think about it, if a house, and just whatever, right? Like a house in your area, whether it's 100,000 or 500,000, times that by 4. In my area, for you to get 4 regular houses, they're all about 500,000, maybe 4, maybe 6, but let's just say 500,000 times 4. That's $2 million to get 4 houses. But if you combine them all together and you call it a 4-unit building, 4-unit buildings aren't selling for $2 million. You're actually per unit, that's what they call it. Each apartment is like a unit. Each unit is less than if you bought them separately. And I know everybody knows this. I'm with the economy. I know everybody's been to Winco or Costco or Sam's Club or whatever. You bundle and save, right? That's what they say on all the insurance stuff, right? If you bundle, you save. And that's the exact same thing that happens with property. If you get 4 units all at once, you bundle and save. So instead of me having to buy $2 million worth of real estate to get 4 properties, I can spend $750, $800, $900, literally half, and get a 4-unit building. So each unit is cheaper than if you buy them individually. So that is a huge plus. So think about it. I could have 4 houses, which have their own benefits. They really do. In my opinion, single family residences, at least in the Portland and surrounding areas, they absolutely appreciate faster than multifamily. No doubt in my mind. No one convinced me otherwise. Single family appreciates more. It'll sell faster, no matter what. If you have a awesomely priced fourplex and an awesomely priced single family, there's just more buyers for single family properties. It will sell faster. So there is absolutely benefits to owning individual homes. I own 2. Also drawbacks. When you rent out the house entirely and not use a rent by the room strategy like I do, you are either 100% full or 100% vacant. Not great. Not great. If you need to do a roof, you have 4 roofs to do instead of just 1. Typically, everything on a single family is more expensive because everything on a fourplex you divide by 4. So even though it's one big roof, but but it's really just 4 smaller roofs. So you just take everything and you divide up all the costs and you divide them by 4. Yes, there's 4 hot water heaters, there's 4 kitchens and stuff like that, but typically, because it's all in one location, like if I had to replumb my entire fourplex, it would absolutely be cheaper than repiping 4 houses. So there's benefits. There really is. Everything's all in one spot. You'll get everything will be cheaper if you divide it by 4. If you look at it that way, and you have other people helping you pay for it. That's what I look at when I look at cash flow. When I look at my cash flow at a property, I say, okay, this cash flow, I could live off of it, or I could do the smart and responsible thing, set it to the side and be prepared when I have CapEx expenses. What's CapEx expenses? That is a roof, that is a unit turnover, that's a water heater, that's windows, that's siding, whatever, right? Any major expense that you don't ordinarily plan for. It's the big ones, right? AC, furnace, whatever, all that stuff. So there's some real benefits when it comes to getting a fourplex. Not only is it easier to qualify for, but it's easier to afford. And here's the most important thing. And as I'm driving around door knocking today, I am door knocking on properties of people who are about to lose their home because they can no longer afford the payments. They can no longer afford the taxes. And whatever situation that is, right? It could be a health-related situation. It could be an employment situation. Whatever the deal is that individual, unfortunately, has lost the ability to maintain the expenses of home ownership. And if they don't do something like solve the problem, sell it to someone like me, or list it, they're going to lose their home, potentially lose a lot of equity. It's just a really bad position to be in. And that's one of my favorite things about multifamily properties is the likelihood that it's 100% vacant is just almost zero. Like unless the whole building burned down, right? Or something crazy, how you flooded or whatever. But even then, at that point, now you have insurance, so you should be all right. And make sure to talk with your insurance agent. I have insurance on my multifamilies where if they become 100% vacant, that I actually can claim lost rents. So I would actually, while the property is being rebuilt, during the investigation, during the loss mitigation, during the all of that insurance stuff, I'm going to continue to get paid my lost rents. Basically I just give them lease agreements, show them my bank statements, hey, this is what I was getting, and they're going to continue to keep paying me that. So I won't even lose rents. So talk to your insurance agent. But anyways, I'm just telling you guys, yes, being a landlord is hard. But I'm just telling you guys, 30 years from now, and this is what I was telling the guy, his name's Steven. I told the guy, I'm just like, man, 30 years from now, I'm going to have a paid off property generating potentially just itself $10,000 a month in cash flow, right? Obviously I have property taxes, obviously I have expenses, but I just told him, I was just like, I can't, and that's $10,000 USD in the future. So it won't, I know that sounds impressive right now, but it'll probably really be like $2,500. But the point is, it'll be free and clear income, and I will own an asset that is absolutely going to be worth maybe even $2 million, and it'll be paid off. Could be worth more, I'm not sure. I don't know what'll happen 30 years from now. But as long as that structure is still standing, which I think it will be, I'll have a paid off asset kicking off a bunch of money. And obviously that rises with inflation, right? So when my bills go up, rents go up, you got to keep up with inflation. So that $10,000 is kind of inflation adjusted, because what I'm getting right now, what am I getting right now? I'm cash flowing like $2,500 or like $2,485 or something like that. It's like $2,500. So I'm cash flowing $2,500, but that's because I have a mortgage on the property, right? My mortgage payment's I think they just raised it. It was $3,680 a month, and then I had to pay for water, so it was like $4,000. So now it's going up to like 41 something. So now my payment will be like 45 or something like that. I'll have to look at it again. But basically, that's money that I'm paying to the bank that when that property's paid off, I'll no longer have to pay. So right there, if I didn't have that loan in place, and then I'd probably just bill back the water. But yeah, I'd be making, was that 45 plus 25? Was that $9,000 a month? Forgive me, I'm still sleepy. I'm terrible at math, right? I get paid to sell, not to spell, not to do math. That's my stick. But anyways, so that's crazy. That's $9,000 right now if I didn't have a loan. What do you think's gonna happen 30 years from now? Rents go up over time, I promise. So I want to make this video just to really, and I know I just made a video of me all closed up in my face and everything, but like I really just want to drive home how important it is for you guys. Like, let's say I lost my income. Let's say I lost all my abilities. I lost an arm, or a leg. I couldn't go out and door knock or whatever, right? I couldn't make cold calls, lost my fingers or something. I'd be sitting in a fourplex, or I could, right? I could be sitting in a fourplex where all of the other people are making the payment for me. I literally will have a free place to live, and I'll never ever lose it as long as everybody continues to pay the rent. And then here's the best point, because I do run into people who lose their properties because of foreclosures as well. What you do is, or excuse me, not foreclosures, tax delinquent. So like not only will I have no problem paying the mortgage, but once the mortgage is paid off, till the day I die, there's going to be people in there paying rent to live in that property, and it will in excess by a lot. I'll never have to worry about paying the taxes on that property, even if they raised my taxes 20%, even 100%. I mean, right now that would hurt, but once the property's paid off, no problem. It just eats into my cash flow. One less vacation, right? So that's the thing that single family just doesn't provide. Once you lose your ability to make income, whether it's health related, job related, pandemic related, whatever, you are still on the hook. The bank's still coming after you. And even if you have your property free and clear, right, you have no mortgage, you still have to come up with the taxes. And the taxes, I mean, where I'm door knocking, I mean, the taxes are like $5,000 to $8,000 every year. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot in a year, but if you're on like Social Security or disability or something like that, that is a huge chunk of your income gone every year just to live in your house. That's before any utilities, that's before any maintenance, that's before, and and I say utilities and maintenance, or what, you're gonna have to pay that anywhere you go, right? Even a retirement home, they're trust me, you're paying for it. So I want to make this video. I don't know how many more ways I can say that a 4-unit building, just in the long run, like, I mean, as a gift for your kids, if you're gonna have any, as a gift to yourself, a retirement gift, because in 30 years, if I own that property, which I probably still will, because the interest rate's 3%, I don't know. I mean, that's an amazing deal. 30 years from now, the property will be paid off, and it'll be kicking off. I know I said $10,000 earlier, but now that I think about it, without the mortgage of like $4,000 a month, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine that I'm not. I mean, I could be making. It's crazy for me to say this. I'm stuttering. I could be literally getting $20,000 a month from that one property once it's paid off 30 years from now, and it'll be worth $2 million. I have no doubt in my mind. It's already worth like 900. So what do you think is going to happen with 30 years of inflation, right? And that's even at 2 or 3%. It just keeps compounding, right? And then as long as I keep the property in good shape, which is important, I need to keep it in good shape, need to remodel, make sure fix things when they're broken, and those will all cost me money over time. But that's the thing, you guys, the renters help you pay for that stuff, right? The renter, I mean, like, think about it. Like, even if I'm living in the fourplex and it's not, and I don't have to pay anything to live, well, now, since I'm living for free, I'm not paying $1,500 or $2,000 or whatever to a mortgage company. I'm not paying it to a landlord. That right there could be the money to fix stuff, right? That's money you would have had to pay anyways, whether it's to a lender or it's to a landlord. Either way. But once you have an asset where other people are helping you pay to live for free, it just changes the game, you guys. It changes the game. And yeah, that's literally how I got started. That's how I bought all of the things that I have now, is because for I think it was like little over 2 years, I was living in a house, renting out rooms to complete strangers, being slightly uncomfortable, but I was living for free, and that allowed me to save up so much money. I mean, think about it, you guys. If you've gotten to the end of the video here, think about it. If you're paying $1,500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,500 a month, every month to live where you're living, how would your life change if you didn't have that payment? If that money stayed in your bank account every month, times 12, times 10 years, times 30 years, right? Think about how massive that is, what a game changer that is. And that's what happened to me. So that's why I'm able to have the multiple properties, and I'm going to keep buying. So anyways, end of the video, guys. I don't want to beat the dead horse anymore. I'm sure I'll revisit this again, but for newbie investors, I'm telling you, if you have a W-2 income, or if you've been 1099 for 2 years, if you can qualify for a traditional mortgage, own or occupy a 4-unit building. It's a game changer. It's a retirement gift to yourself when you're 30 years from now, when it's paid off. You can pay it off quicker if you want. It's a retirement gift to yourself. It's a legacy building gift to your kids, if you choose to have any, right? You pass that along. When you pass away, they get it. It's just, yeah. There's nothing else to say. I'm going to end the video right there. Super passionate about it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below.